Say hallelujah. And so that's why as a nation, we got to arise to pray again. Somebody say hallelujah. No matter how we want to water it down and say, well, we really ain't a Christian nation. We are kind of secularized. We are a Christian nation. Somebody shout and say hallelujah. We are the ones that are proclaiming the gospel to the world. Everybody shout and say, we are the ones that are proclaiming the gospel to the world. So we have this dichotomy with America now. We are trying to water down the stuff that God has given us to proclaim to the world. And so the nations of the world are knocking against our door and they are stirring us up to do something. But it seems as though nobody knows what to do. It is time for us to hit our knees as a nation. What should we do, people? What should we do? We should do what? Hit our knees as a nation. As a folks of an island people, we got to pray too. Somebody say hallelujah. And even send the earthquake of prayer to the White House. Somebody shout and say we got to pray too. And send the earthquake of prayer to the White House. Somebody say hallelujah. Small islands can shake up stuff. Somebody say hallelujah. Or somebody shout and say we got to shake things up. So Cain killed his brother Abel when he was alone with him in the field and destroyed him. And that's what the nation of the world wants to do to us as a nation, to destroy us and to defeat us because of whom we worship and who we worship. Somebody say hallelujah. But we got to arise. Somebody say we got to arise. And we got to continue worshiping the true and the living God. Somebody say we got to arise. And worship the true and the living God. I can't hear you. Somebody said we got to arise. And so in Genesis 4 and verse 10, Genesis 4 and verse 10 tells us, and he said, what hast thou done? This is God talking to Cain. And he said, what hast thou done? He asked him, where's your brother? He said, I'm not my brother's keeper. Somebody said, you are your brother's keeper. You got to keep your brother. You got to protect your brother. My. Somebody said, Because your brother, he has a purpose in the earth. And what's happening is that because another person doesn't value that other brother, what they're doing is that they're taking them out. They do not know the purpose of the other brother. They're taking them out. Somebody say, But I stand up and I rise up and I speak all over the world and I say that you are your brother's keeper. It means that you are your brother's protector. You are to defend your brother. You are to cover your brother. You are your brother's keeper. Somebody say, What we are doing is that we are destroying another brother, another sister who has our DNA. Somebody say hallelujah. Oh my God, we're destroying our brothers and killing them, and their blood, they are crying out on the street. And God is also speaking to those persons who are taking out another brother, another sister, and he's saying, where is Janet? Where is Bill? Where is John? Calling their names. When you go to sleep, you're dreaming about them while you're living a horrific life because of what you did. You destroy another life. Somebody say, And God will not let you forget it. God will not let you forget that you destroy and you took somebody else's life out. That is just only the beginning. Somebody said that is only the beginning. In John 4 and verse 10 says, in Genesis 4 and verse 10, Genesis 4 and verse 10 tells us, and he said, what hast thou done? Jesus talking to him. And he says, the voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. God heard the voice of his brother's blood crying out from the earth, from the mouth of the earth. When you kill somebody, that is just the beginning. Somebody said that's the beginning of torture and trauma in your life and in your generation. So if you're thinking about killing somebody, let the preacher man tell you to hold brakes and to stop and consider your ways, what you're doing. Because the moment you begin to think about it and you do it, you perpetrate it, you're bringing a curse upon your life and upon yourself and upon your generation. And so the Bible tells us that his blood began to cry out. It says that Abel's blood spoke of vengeance and violence. He's saying Abel said, you gotta get Cain. You gotta get him. You gotta get somebody in his generation. You see what happened is that when you commit the crime, when you commit the crime, even though you're not caught, bam, and you're going down, go down. Bam, you're going down. Even though you commit the crime and you're not caught, you're not being caught, heaven got a picture of it. The angels sight and God's sight. Somebody say, And even if you hit the weapon and you paid and got yourself out from the justice system, heaven took a picture of it. Somebody say, And so like Cain's blood, the blood of that Mr. Brown is crying out from the earth in America, in the Virgin Islands. And wherever you go, you cannot have no peace. Because everywhere you go, the earth will be crying out against you. And the earth will be speaking for justice and vengeance against you. I can't hear the house up in here. So when you kill somebody and you get away scot-free, if you pay off the judges and the policemen and everybody, tell them look the other ways, my son, take this little $1 billion and run as fast as you can. Catch the first boat and go to Tortola and then go on over to Puerto Rico and catch the first American jet out to another country. Run as fast as you can. Heaven has a picture of it. Come put your hands together and clap, man. Help a brother out. Oh, thank you. Get up, get up. Heaven and the blood of that slain person, the blood of that slain brother, the wife, the husband that you kill is crying out because of the spirit of murder and violence that's released in the land. Somebody shouting. He says when you kill someone, that is not the end. It is just the beginning for the perpetrator. My God, that person's blood is crying out against you every time. The entire generation is crying out. In the Hebrew import tells us, it says that it's in the plural form that his bloods cried out. Bloods, that is, his wife was crying out. His sons, his daughters, and the blood of his grandchildren and great-grandchildren, they were crying out from the ground with him. Somebody say hallelujah. The blood crying out, and the bloods of generations crying out from one person being slain. There were generation, the seed that was in that person is crying out for justice. My God, somebody say, that's the dangerous ones. That's the dangerous one. When the seeds, when they're all crying out for justice. Somebody says crying out for justice. So when you commit a murder and you think that you have gotten away, you really haven't gotten away, because there is an entire generation crying out for justice, crying out for vengeance, crying out that you be caught. They're working out in your dreams and your psyche. You're tormented for the rest of your life until you touch base with Jesus Christ, who can cleanse you from all sin. Somebody say hallelujah. When you kill somebody, not only the bloods speak from the ground, and you're haunted and taunted every place that you would go. You say, well, I'm going to run from St. Thomas. I'm going to run from this particular state, and I'm going to run to another state. But the earth will still speak. The blood in the earth will still speak of justice. Somebody say hallelujah. You will never be fruitful in the land that you go, in the work that you do, because what? The blood in the earth is speaking against you. Somebody say, it will follow you. Somebody say, oh yes, yeah. It will walk with you. It will work with you. The stuff that you did will follow you wherever you go throughout the earth. One earth, one dirt, and it will speak to you. Somebody say, Come on, one more time. Somebody say, So you better consider and think about what you're doing to destroy another's life. What you're doing, you're bringing a curse upon your generation. You're bringing a curse upon yourself. And the earth is speaking to you every day. When other people can't hear you, you can hear the earth speaking to you. And so you're a murderer. You kill that person, hearing the person's last words on a daily basis. Somebody say, In Proverbs 26 and verse 2. Proverbs 26 and verse 2 tells us about the generational curse that we bring upon us when we kill one another. It says the murderer has brought a curse on himself and upon his generation. It says in Proverbs 26 and verse 2 what it says.